Hi, guys. It is me, Amy Rat151, or Ellen, coming to you from my room in the Cheese State, also known as Wisconsin. I am the creator and one of the maintainers of the live journal community Twilight Sucks. I'm using this video as an introduction to 15 other videos that I will be making that I will be presenting comments that have been made on my community by our members, and yeah, I'm bringing them to you in this format. I am doing this because I've seen other blogs of people, hating Twilight, so I figured why not get in on that fun. Also, I am not, or we are not affiliated with the website twilightsucks.com. Actually, I started my community before they actually started their website. I'm not saying that they stole anything from me or anything ridiculous like that. I'm only saying that to say that, yeah, I didn't take their idea. Okay, so, the videos will be why stories in the fantasy genre have to have a realism to them. Because when, fans hear us critique the series, one of, the first things that they say is, oh, it's a fantasy genre, it doesn't have to make sense or be realistic. That's a crap excuse, really. Okay, the second one will be, Meyer's purple prose and writing style. And, just how her grammatical structure and how she does, just first year college student mistakes, like use a noun or a verb for like an adjective or something. Also, her complete disregard for storytelling structure. Like things like arising action and, climax and falling action. There is a reason those things are in place. Stories have structure for a reason. And Meyer kind of ignores that. Okay, the third one will be telling versus showing. This is self-explanatory. Okay, the fourth one will be why Meyer's work may be one of the most unoriginal fantasy novels ever written, especially when looking at long-established cliches of the genre. Like, there's nothing in these books that cannot be found somewhere else, 1,000 times done better. Like, my sister and I often talk about Roswell, which I will be, or Inuyasha, or of course, vampire, literature that makes sense, that's done well, like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the whole, boy vampire and, girl human deal. The fifth one, is about Meyer's lack of research in vampire lore and history and geography and biology in Native American culture. I mean, for example, Forks is not one of the rainiest towns in America. I believe the rainiest town is somewhere in Alabama. One of the vampire families, I don't remember which one, but she was in a banking family, and she said, like, her family considered the Great Depression like a rumor. I know most people aren't into history, but if you are, you can understand how ridiculous that is. In biology, as a scientist and somebody who can read, like, her deal with chromosomes. Yeah, I'll get into that, on the video, but it's kind of heartbreaking for somebody who has the heart of a scientist. The sixth one is how she screwed up vampire lore, because this deserves a video of its own. The 7th is how Meyer never fully explains anything of real importance. Like, for example, she doesn't have a creationism story about how vampires came into being. This is important. Like, yeah, if you're creating a complicated mythos like Twilight, you have to have a reason why this world is different than the normal one we live in. Yeah, also, how, you know, things, or if she explains things in her story, they don't really make logical sense, and she breaks her own rules, like how, you know, Bella even came, you know, to be pregnant in the first place. You know, that'll be a big deal there. The 8th one will be why Bella and Edward may be the biggest pair of Sues in the 21st century. Okay, the 9th one will be Meyer's character development, or lack thereof, how the flaws of all the characters are completely ignored and no one ever grows or changes. I mean, I can see enormous flaws in Edward and Bella especially, and neither of them ever changes or grows beyond them. But no one changes. 10, Bella, because she really deserves a video of her own, and how she has no heroic qualities, or honestly any good ones. She is not a good person, really, and that's with that. And how, because, you know, they're from her perspective, and she believes that most humans are beneath her. Like, most humans are, like, seen as dirt, basically, because they're from her head. Okay, so the 11th one will be about all the anti-feminism, and of course not just Bella. I mean, Alice will be mentioned too, and even though, you know, she may be the strongest female character in Twilight, she really doesn't measure up when you compare her to characters like Hermione Granger from Harry Potter, or Elizabeth Swann from the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, or, you know, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, or any of the female characters, you know, from Buffy, or from the Buffyverse, or you know, or Harry Potter, or any female character that Rumiko Tashihaki ever created. Yeah, none of them measure up to those women for reasons, and that will be, okay, so 12, Jacob. How Meyer completely screwed up one of the only decent characters she ever had. So basically she wouldn't ruin Edward and Bella's true love, because, yeah, that's kind of a big deal with a lot of people in my community, how she screwed up Jacob. Yeah. 13, why Bella and Edward's relationship may be the worst model for relationships ever. Okay, so then 14 will be about Breaking Dawn, and how, you know, this, you know, magic fairy tale ending, and how Bella really didn't work at all to get this ending. I mean, stories have struggle, have conflict. You know, the characters have flaws that they need to overcome and work for their happy ending, like Harry Potter did. I know people say that the epilogue in Deathly Hallows is too sugary, but you know what? I say he suffered enough, honestly. He worked for his happy ending. Bella didn't have to do anything. She was an idiot, and that's what created any kind of conflict. Okay, so then the 15th one will be an issue that I really don't think has gotten a lot of time or a lot of thought, and it's about abstinence, and how really Twilight delivers a really messed up view on sex, in my opinion. Okay, so I guess that's it. I very much look forward to presenting the ideas of myself and my fellow community members. So, you know, I hope it makes people think a little. So, yeah, really, I know people leave angry comments about me, but, you can't say I hate romance, because I do. You can't say I hate fantasy, because I don't. It's all I ever watch, all I've ever read since I was about 3 years old. And if you call me a geek, well, you know, congratulations to you. Really. You just told me something about myself that I've known, you know, since I was 10, and something that's been true about myself since I was 5. So good for you. Yeah, okay. So yeah, have a nice night, or a good day, depending on what time you're watching this. Okay, so, auf Wiedersehen.